Sunday, lovely people. Welcome to the Jaden Show. I am Jaden Cornelius, and I have a wonderful show in store for you today. I'm going all the way to California, USA, to meet Dexoflex, as he is known by most, and he runs a project which is an international group of musicians producing genre-free music. You wouldn't want to say that after a couple of tequilas, to be fair, but you're going to meet him. You're going to love him in a minute. It's going to be quite an interesting interview, I can tell you. But anyway, you're going to meet him in just a few minutes. Before we do, I want to say that I hope you've had a wonderful week. I hope it's all gone lovely for you. Always leave your comments underneath this show. It's always lovely to hear from you and hear what you've been up to. So please do. Before I go over to California, we're going to listen to a song which I know it's kind of Christmas, but I really love this tune and I really love the video because it's got a few Mexican. I love Halloween. I mean, my home all year round is Halloween and I live in Mexico. So there's some Halloween and some Mexican flavors in this video. So I love it and I know you're going to love it too. It's called Rave Graveyard. I got to see that again as well. Let's go and meet the man behind Rave Graveyard, the amazing Dexoflex. Dexoflex, welcome to the...
Why, thank you.
I'm pleased you also dressed up for the occasion. I'm liking it. There are vague similarities to my Aunt Maud. I think she has the same facial hair.
You didn't know, but I've been in contact with her for the last several weeks, and she's
Right,
been
that's
giving me
amazing.
beauty.
I think
She's been
dead
giving me
like
beauty
26
tips.
years.
Yeah.
So that's obviously from music. I think clairvoyance, clairsentience could be your next progression into the arts.
Who says I haven't already been there?
Exactly. I would have known that if I'd been one.
Well, if you were clairvoyant, then you'd know what I'm going to say next.
Yeah, see, I'll just stick with singing.
Gotcha.
How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you very much. I've been looking forward for the opportunity to speak with you, and I've been giving my dog treats so he doesn't bark while we have this session, and so far it's working out well.
Cool. Let's not tempt fate. I have 12 dogs here. So
12?
Yeah. And 11 cats. And the reason why I do my interviews at this time of the day is because this is when they are the quietest. But
there is no quiet time.
Go horribly wrong. It hasn't yet. But with your lipstick and my rosy orange cheeks, who knows what's in store?
What about my eyebrows? I can wiggle them.
I quite like when you move away from the camera and they just kind of stay. They might go to the, just
they migrate.
Or they go
I like it.
One side. They've kind of got a bit of a life of their own.
I go side to side. They stay. Look at that! Now it's hanging off the edge.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Okay, I'm into it.
But no, I'm pleased. Tell us a story behind the eyebrows and the lipstick.
I have a regular Monday night meeting of the staff and some of the artists in a label that I signed with a few months ago. And it's called Big Records out of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And we have a Monday night standing Zoom meeting, and it's a lot of people. And sometimes it's really interesting and sometimes it's really boring because it doesn't pertain to me exactly, and it's all about me. And so this last Monday's night's meeting, let's just say there was a lull in the action, and I got bored and I started playing around with filters and changing my background and all just to amuse myself. And now I can't change it back, and I don't. No amount of clicking on this or Googling that is going to change that. So I'm just insisting that I've dressed up especially nicely for our interview.
I feel very privileged, and I think I might actually make this an ongoing theme for Jaden's shows. This could be.
Can I talk about, since we're talking about backgrounds, filters and stuff? That photograph behind me there is the world's top grossing commercial photograph in the entire world. It sells for, I think, $50,000 a print. And
is it yours?
No, I wish.
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? But I find it really interesting. It's just women in interesting poses and costumes standing in the windows of some New York. Yeah. I don't even know what building it is, and I just love it. So I'm keeping it for today's interview.
Super cool. It is bloody super cool. Yeah, but shame it's not yours, mate. Quite frankly,
I could downgrade if that makes you more comfortable.
What's that?
I could downgrade my background if that makes you more comfortable.
No, I'm all for the glitz, glamour, and talent show. It's all good. It's all good. So tell me a little about yourself, Mr. Graham. How did it all start? Explain Dexoflex for those that don't know.
I've been making music, playing music since I was 8 years old. I'm currently 68 years old, so that makes it 60 years playing music.
Wow.
Like everybody else, I started when I saw the Dave Clark 5 on television, singing "Glad All Over," and the girls went insane. And the Beatles, on television, and the crowd was going insane. I said, that's what I want to do. And I got a guitar. and took lessons for a long time. Studied music theory and harmony and counterpoint and all sorts of traditional training and stuff like that, and played in rock and roll bands from the time I was like 12. We were when I was still 15 or 16 years old, we were playing in bars and clubs and schools and community events and all that sort of thing. All that stuff, mostly Beatles, Stone, British Invasion, Beatles, Stones, The Who, Jethro Tull. Because the band I was in at the time had a flute player, stuff like that. And eventually we moved over into all original material and new wave stuff. Flock of Seagulls would have been happy, I think. That's that sort of stuff. Moved to California. Oh, I wasn't in California at the time. I was in Ohio.
Okay.
Pardon me?
I moved to California. Okay, so Ohio.
Moved to California. Decided LA, too big to be in a band with and rehearse and play in this club and that, because you drive 2 hours to get to rehearsal. It's like crazy. Wow. So I focused on writing. And I just started writing. And I sold some things to various people and eventually moved on and pursued a whole bunch of other careers. I've had so many different careers. It's crazy. My undergrad degree is in writing, specifically poetry. And then I've got a master's degree in kinesiology, which is how we move and exercise and that sort of stuff. So I've used all that stuff. I've owned my own yoga studio. I used to travel around and train new yoga instructors, certify them. So I was a master yoga teacher, personal trainer, all kinds of stuff. But mostly what I did in the 80s, 90s was I was a toy designer.
Oh my God.
And for kids. And I have, I think, the most awards for toy design of anyone in the world in the 80s and 90s.
That's super impressive.
Real interesting stuff. And by this point, I was so busy with all that stuff. And I lived in London for a while, lived in New York for a short while, traveled all over the place, everywhere. And kind of got away from music because it was too hard to do in that kind of context. And then in 2018, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
Oh, okay.
You know, where you shake.
Mm-hmm.
And my doctor said, you better start packing your stuff up and preparing to shut down. And I thought, holy cow. So I turned to music just for stress relief and stuff. And I started writing again and recording. And I bought more equipment, more microphones and more guitars and more keyboards and more, as you do.
Yeah.
And I ended up, I've now, and I was given the name Dex when I was a spinning instructor.
Okay.
I was a badass spinning instructor, and everyone's like favorite nightmare. And I was given the nickname Dex when I was teaching these fitness and yoga and spinning and all that sort of stuff. So when the time came to start my own business, my own yoga studio, and then and onwards from there, this is the late 90s. I took over the name Dex, which had started as a nickname. I just said, screw it, that's my name. And Dexoflex was a nice rhyming thing. And I kept it, and I used it in several businesses, and I use that as my artist name now.
That's amazing. So really, like, there's more to be said about having another string to your bow. You've got the old bloody orchestra going on.
I do. And I haven't even touched the surface of other stuff that I've done.
That's super cool.
There's a lot of stuff.
That's super cool. So so was it the diagnosis that kind of made you think, do you know what, I just need to find my therapy, and music was a thing that done that? Or
well, my doctor literally said, you better start packing up your stuff and shutting down. And I went, holy shit. So I went out to my storage room and I was going through boxes and throwing things out, and I'm going to donate this and sell this and throw this away. And I came across a cassette, and it was songs that I had written and recorded in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
That I had I didn't even know the cassette still existed.
Wow.
And I got it converted to MP3 and digital, and listened to it, and I said, that song's not bad. I like that song. Oh, this song's good too. And I got in touch with my old bandmates from the early 80s. So that's 40 years ago. I found them on Facebook, and excuse me. And I contacted them and I said, hey, would you be interested in re-recording this stuff? And they all told me, hell no. Really? But we've become best friends at this point, and we talk daily on Facebook, and they're my sounding board whenever I'm working on a new idea or I've got a new recording. They always get to hear my working demo versions, and they poke fun of it, or they like it, or whatever they do. And they've stuck around to this day. And so one of them is still in Ohio. One of them is in Vancouver. And every day we chit chat, and they see all my stuff in progress, and they're my best supporters.
That's amazing, man. So how did you come up with this? So Dexoflex, the project at the moment, is an international group of musicians that are recording genre less music, I guess, right?
Yeah.
How did that come about? What was the thought behind it? Going on with it?
I just started writing, and as has always been throughout my life, I'll wake up at 2 a.m. with an idea in my head, and I'll crawl my way over to to my computer, and I'll just start fleshing out an idea, and then so I can go back to bed. And the ideas, one at a time, were all different. Once it would be a kind of a rock guitar number with vocals, and the next thing you know, it's a jazz instrumental, and the next thing you know, it's something cinematic and whatever. So I just follow my heart.
Yeah.
And I don't worry too much about, this would make a great hit on the radio, or it will or it won't. Some of the recent numbers, and they're kind of EDM-ish. Mm-hmm. They've been on the air besides all the Spotify and YouTube and Apple Music and all the normal outlets. It's been on. There have been a number of songs that have been on the air for a while in Holland, Germany, Spain, South Africa, Peru, Mexico, the U.S., Canada. I know I'm missing some, but South Africa, if I didn't say that. And to me, that is the complete payback. Forget money. Money would be nice.
Yeah.
But the payback that there's somebody driving to work in South Africa or Germany or someplace, listening to my track and maybe speeding up a little too much because the track is kind of energetic. I love that.
That's amazing.
And that's what I live for.
So the group of musicians, do you write all the songs? Do other musicians write the songs? Do you sing? Have guests?
I've released about 30 tracks in the last 2 years.
Wow, man, that's
I'm
amazing.
very prolific. I've written all but one or two of them. Most of the time, there have been, of the 30, maybe about 20 that I've played everything, sang everything, played everything, guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, vocals, arrangements, all that stuff. But I frequently collaborate with a guy in Spain, in Zaragoza, Spain. His name is Diego Zapatero. He's one of the best keyboard players you've ever heard, and I will sometimes say, "Hey, I need a keyboard solo after the second chorus. Can you throw one in? Keep it in the key of G and keep it high."
Yeah.
And he, tomorrow morning, in email, there it is, and it's perfect. So I work with him a lot. He's also an engineer. So very typically when I write a song, I have the basic idea, and I'll just start layering track after track after track on top of it. And I'll end up with, I think that one recently, it had 100 tracks. I just keep adding stuff, and then I spend a couple of weeks throwing stuff out again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's I can't. No, too much. This has got to go. That's got to go. And the final step is to work with my friend Diego, and I'll just say, okay, here's my box load of stuff.
Play with it.
Do something with it. And he's perfect for he's an engineer, but he's an artist first, and he's great at saying no. In that second chorus, we're going to drop the violins. No more violins. Enough. And he's great for stuff like that. So he's a little more than an engineer. I can't call him a producer exactly, but it's along that line. And he makes my stuff better, so that's all I care about. Yeah, I also work with an engineer in New York who specializes in EDM. So if I have a track that is not too overly complicated, and I don't need him to go in and start throwing stuff out or rearranging this or that, I work with the guy in New York. His name's Gabe Angelo, and Gabe is also a keyboard player and EDM producer himself. So he approaches, again, my stuff with that mindset, and for specific songs it's just perfect. I've also worked with my friends, the people in Ohio and Vancouver who are musicians themselves, and they've given me, not that they've exactly written any parts, but they'll come in and say, the bass needs help, that sort of thing. So they approach that. I've worked with singers on 3 tracks who, there's a guy in South Africa I've worked with. There's a guy in Atlanta, Georgia that I've worked with. And there's a guy, God, I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to do this. Let's just say Africa. I'd like to say Nigeria, but I don't know that that's true. So I'm going to back off. I'm not sure exactly where he is. He's in Africa somewhere. And as a singer, and they can sing stuff that I can't. I used to have a powerful, high-ish singing voice, but Parkinson's has turned it into, someone described my singing voice as sand pouring over the microphone.
Well, that's very relaxing.
It's just all gravelly and.
I wanted to ask, actually, obviously you're doing a lot at the moment. How has the Parkinson's diagnosis affected your work and your creativity?
Well, there are good days and bad days.
Okay.
Um, uh, there are days when everything's perfect. There are days when I'm in a great deal of pain.
Right.
And I pretty much shut down for the day just because it's too much.
Yeah.
There are days when I'm able to get a couple of hours of work in.
Okay.
And when I work, symptoms disappear, pain goes away, the creative process just kind of pushes all that to the back, and I don't even remember it's there.
That's
and there are lots of days when I'll wake up today I was out of bed at 5 because I woke up with this idea. I said, holy Christ, I didn't write a Christmas song. I had a big success I wrote a Halloween song this year, and it was a big success for me by my standards. And I thought I should have done a Christmas song. So I took a song I just recorded and I released today. It just got released today. It's called Que Sera, My Love. And it's a breakup song. So I decided I would make an ad campaign for the song, pitching it as the perfect gift for your ex for Christmas.
Love it.
And I just before we got on, I looked at how it's doing, and it's doing better than any video I've released this year. So maybe there's a market for people, sending a sarcastic song to their ex for Christmas. But that was kind of serendipity.
Amazing. Oh, I'm gonna have to go and check that out. Actually,
Que Sera, My Love.
So
it's actually the second time I've re-recorded Que Sera.
Okay.
I have another just called Que Sera that's the same lyrics, just different arrangement.
Right.
Different mood. I redid Frere Jacques.
Okay.
Into a song called Wake Up. And I redid You Are My Sunshine as a demented children's song.
That could have been really quite cool for Halloween as well, actually.
Evil children's song.
Nice.
Well, it's just for adults. It's not for kids. I
don't know. I think it should be maybe shared.
No, you can't spin that song on a kid. No.
Listen, if they're bloody singing "Rude Boy" by Rihanna, I don't think they're any. I don't think there's any problems with what they're singing now.
No, I guess not. No,
the gates have been opened.
So I have a whole series of demented children's classics.
Lovely.
That I just do for my own benefit.
You should try and get them. The Hocus Pocus movies.
Yes.
That you should maybe try to them, because they're all like, "Come, little children, I'll take you away into it." I think you should maybe try and punt some of those out to the Hocus Pocus movie makers.
Well,
pretty good.
To that extent, I hopefully am signing in the next few weeks with I can't tell you his name and I can't tell you his background except to say that he's worked with some of the biggest names. I can't because it's not signed. We haven't signed the contract. But
you better come back and bloody tell me then on another show.
I wanted to tell you today, but it's not signed. But the point is, what he does is he licenses music for use in movies, television commercials, video games. Streaming audio is where, let's say you go into a coffee shop or you go into a restaurant or a whatever, and they're playing music over the loud system. It's called streaming audio, and he licenses music for that stuff. So there's a lot of my music that I'm hoping will be licensed out to film and TV. So maybe that what you're suggesting would be possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That'd be amazing. So I was going to ask you, what are you doing now? Thinking, you've done so much, maybe you'll be, taking, a few minutes out for self, but obviously you got up at 5 this morning and wrote a Christmas song. So what is actually, so you're just about to sign this licensing deal. What else is going on creatively for you at the moment?
I've got a library of 30, I don't know, song demos that I've done. I always tell people that I liken it to an artist's sketchbook.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the full work. It's just a suggestion of this is the direction this song can go.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few chords and maybe a keyboard part or something. Just and file it away. So now that I've released this song today, I actually do have another song that's about a third of the way done. That who knows? We'll see what happened to it. It's one of those songs that I've worked on, put down, worked on again, put it away for several months.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I do need to just go through and comb through all these song parts and see which merit being developed further.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, and if you ever need a short London boy that lives in Mexico vocalist.
What are you doing in Mexico?
Long story, mate. Not
all right.
Going through shit at the moment, but no, I'm actually. Well, I've got a little like refuge of loads of animals, and I do everything I can possibly do to constantly raise money to feed them. So
I bet.
Yeah, so I work a lot for tips and donations. I do a lot of singing for tips because
So your singing voice, are you available?
Absolutely.
If we were to work on something, how would you record it?
I've got a little studio set up here that a friend's going to show me how to use. I've got Logic here, but my friend's also got.
I use Logic.
I don't know how to work it. I'm completely.
Logic will drive you insane.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You may want to start first with Logic Lite, which is GarageBand.
Is it? Yeah, because my friend
it's the same program, just
it's
compressed and doesn't have full features, but you're less likely to get lost. And I started with GarageBand for 2-3 months, and I said, "Oh, I'm ready for the big time." And I got Logic, and it was like I fell into a whirlpool and went down.
Yeah,
I can't tell you how much material I've erased by accident. Or oh man,
it's really funny. A friend of mine was had made a small movie, and she wanted this lady to come in and play the keyboard and and to sing on it. I said I'll do some backing vocals and put some samples of stuff in. No idea what I was doing. Never done anything like this before. But I mean, I've been singing for 32 years, so I've been in different studios, and I've said, what about putting the hi-hat here, or let's do this kind of vibe on this bit. So I've always been like very active within the production of something that I want, that I think it would sound if it's me.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I've never done anything on my own before. And literally a friend of mine he now lives in Spain, but he was living in Mexico at the time, was like, okay, Jaden, there is 2 little pressy buttons above a turny knob. Go to the left pressy button. Like, literally, he had to break it down like I was 4 years old. And thank God he did, because I wouldn't have got it. And we managed to put down this track, to put down the piano, to put down the voices, to do that. And it won the bloody best score in an English film festival-y thing in London. I can't remember what it was. Do you know what?
When was this? Wait a minute. When was this?
This was last year. I have opened up that program so many times, and I can't even get the sound of the microphone to come out now. So it was pure luck.
I'm telling you, go with GarageBand. Go with GarageBand.
I also have a friend who my last single was actually recorded at his, and he said he's always up for. So yeah, I've got places to record until I get a little bit more intelligent with the record.
My only concern for you to record is you need a good mic.
Yeah, we've got a good compression mic.
Oh, good. Then you're all set.
Yeah.
And then GarageBand or Logic.
Okay. We'll talk about that offline.
Also, you're talking about you need more gig work. Air gigs.
Okay.
Do you know that one?
Is it
You know that?
similar to? Oh my gosh. There's
Oh,
another
yeah, it is.
format, and I can't think what it's called now.
I can't either.
Air gigs. Is that what it's called?
Air gigs is where I found a lot of people. If I needed, like, once I needed somebody to whistle a part.
Okay.
I can't whistle. That sort of thing.
I can a
You could find anybody there, but you put a little ad on air gigs and say vocalist available to record your tracks, or
Yeah, sweet.
production help available, and €100 or whatever you charge.
Yeah, sweet.
And it could be an excellent resource for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll definitely check that out. And I can sing. It's funny, like when I first came, I mean, I was a pop boy in the 90s, signed to Logic BMG. And then
nice.
when I came to Mexico, I'd literally just done my third studio album, and it was classical and classical crossover. So I was kind of doing more operatic kind of stuff, because I looked like this with piercings and tattoos and singing Desandorma in theaters.
Yeah, nice.
Oh my God, he's in jeans and a t-shirt with piercings and tattoos, but he's singing like Pavarotti. And then when I came here, I just brought with me like 30 tracks so I could carry on a bit of singing. And I think I'd be halfway through something like Time to Say Goodbye and Nessun Dorma, and someone would tap me on the shoulder and go, "Do you know any Whitney Houston?" I'm like, what? So now I've gone from 30 tracks to nearly 600. I do everything from mariachi Mexican to Celine Dion, Tony Braxton, Tina Turner. Like I can Oasis. I can do anything now. Pavarotti. So now I just sing everything that I enjoy singing. I've got nearly 600 tracks.
I yesterday was playing around with the idea of doing a cumbia track.
Oh, cool. Sí, yo puedo hablar en español también.
Sí, hablo Spanglish.
Yeah, yo también. But yeah, but no, I sing a lot.
In this part, I live in Palm Springs, California.
Yeah.
Which is about 2 hours from the Mexican border.
Mm-hmm.
So Spanish is spoken by most people here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And except for white people, güeros. Except for the güeros.
Yeah.
Do they call you güero?
Yeah.
Yeah. They call me güero too. And
they call me gringo as well, but apparently gringo is only for people live in the United States, until when they realize I'm English, I'm just güero.
Yeah, white guy.
Yeah, whitey.
White guy.
Yeah. It's really cool. But no, we're definitely
so the number one radio station. I still have a car with a radio, FM radio in it.
Sweet.
And they were playing cumbias all day yesterday for some reason, and I was just into it. And I'm thinking, I could do that. I could do a cumbia. That'd be fun.
Sweet.
And I'm sure I could find a singer. So
2 years ago, I recorded a reggaeton track with a friend of mine. He's an amazing reggaeton artist and rapper here. His name's Black Sicano, and we wrote and we recorded a English Spanish reggaeton track, which was super fun to do as well. So yeah, I think COVID has kind of taught us now that we don't need to be as pigeonholed. We now know the fragility of the industry. So people are saying, well, you're a classical singer, so don't you ever put a saxophone in your music, or you're an R&B singer, so you can't have a violin or a cumbia, flavor in it. Whereas now I'm just like, I just sing what I sing because I like singing. So
I recently saw a TV special about an artist, Robert Glasper. You know Robert Glasper?
No.
Jazz piano player.
Yeah, it does sound really familiar.
Probably the most awarded jazz piano player of the last 10 years, I guess.
Okay.
And his specialty is he'll take classical, jazz, R&B, hip hop, and mix it all together. And he'll cover Stevie Wonder with an orchestra,
Really?
and a R&B group and some great singers, Erica Badu and a bunch of other people.
Really?
And he took that approach, and boy, he's shown that it's possible.
That's
So
amazing.
I wouldn't be shy if I were you
No, I'm
to
not now.
mix it,
I'm
because
kind of
that's
just,
what, why
I'm
sound
vaping
like
with
everybody
whatever I do
else?
now, you know. So if I'm singing Pavarotti or I'm singing, I don't know, Jose, or I'm singing, the only thing I don't try and do anymore, which I used to when I was younger, was replicate. Now I'm just me,
You
you know.
have to be you.
Yeah,
Don't be
because
anybody else.
no, because it makes it fake then. So I just really like doing what I'm doing now. So I just released. It's funny. I've just released like a kind of 80s disco-y track. That was my latest release. That got to #1 in the chart in, I want to say, Canada. It was in an LGBTQ chart called Q Reviews. So, and I got in the top 10 of another chart in the UK. And that was done with my friend in his little studio around the corner. I made a little video here, just good enough for YouTube, and it was called Lost Without Your Love. And it was a lovely track. It's got, it was played in, worldwide, all different radio stations, digital and I guess analog as well. So yeah, it was really cool. So now I'm just doing, if I like it and I want to record it, it's just whatever Jaden Cornelius wants to be fired by at that particular moment. I like good music. I like things that make me feel good, that
I
challenge
like,
them. So
because I can't sing so well, and I don't have to always hire singers. Um, I do a lot with sound effects,
okay.
a lot. I try to create an environment, so it's more than a song; it's an environment,
Okay, yeah.
of which the song is a part.
Yeah.
So it might be children. I just did a song called. You know what a bounce house is? A
Like
bouncy
Bouncy
house.
Castle.
It's a bouncy castle.
Okay,
Also,
yeah.
also could be called a bounce house.
Okay.
And I just like the name bounce house because then it's a play on the word
House.
house
Yeah.
for house music. So I did an instrumental called Bounce House. And it's meant to capture the experience of bouncing
Right.
around one of those castle things. And it's a lot of fun, and it's got kids. It's got a gospel choir in it. It's got kids screaming and laughing, and I wrote a song for some friends have a big yacht in the Pacific outside of LA, and the yacht it's kind of historic. It was designed specifically for and built for Judy Garland back in 1961. So it's old, but it's huge. It's got like 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, a full kitchen, 2 bars, laundry facility. It's big. It's this big thing. So I wrote them a theme song for their boat because the boat is sometimes used. They've had it rented out for films and all sorts of things. It was and then the boat after Judy Garland died, it went through several different owners, including Eddie Van Halen and Steven Tyler.
Wow, okay.
were owners of this boat. So it's got
a few stories in the walls of that ship.
Oh yeah, you should see the photographs they've got tucked away. When everyone's drunk, they'll bring out the photos, and you get to like, wow, look at that party, So I did an ad for their boat, which was fun, and that's got big boat horn, and kids screaming. It's a lot of fun.
Sweet.
I like stuff like that.
Sweet. What do you see as the future? Where do you want this project to take you and to take the people that are involved? Like, how does it go for you?
Well, I'm hoping that this licensing deal goes through and B is successful. If that's the case, I would love to write for spec. So somebody saying I need 30 seconds for my BMW commercial, and I need it to be uplifting or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I would love to see, can I work well under those constraints? So I've been a lot of the things that I've been putting out in the last 6 months have specifically been done. I'm not gonna worry about calling it a song.
But
I'm just gonna go capture a mood. I'm just gonna improve my catalog and create a mood and get out.
Yeah.
And it's nice. I enjoy that. It allows my ADHD to
Well, it keeps
blossom.
them old creative juices flowing, doesn't it? Like when you always
You don't get stuck. You don't get
something-
stuck forever on worrying about the words for the third verse.
Yeah.
If I never, ever write a song with an intro, a verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, out ever again, I will be so happy. I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of that.
I know how you feel. So where can people find you? Where can people find out all about Dexoflex?
Well, the easiest place is my own website, which is dexoflex.com. Simple enough.
And all the links to your other social media platforms and
all the links to all the social media are there. Links to all the videos are there. Links to all the streaming and downloading. All the songs are there. A lot of I was an advertising copywriter for years. Okay. Oh, that's what happens to you when you're a poetry major. You come out of school and what can you do? And you think, well, maybe I'm a wordsmith. And I got a job writing advertising copy for a number of years.
Wow.
So still to this day, just as a hobby, if you want to call it that, I create ads now I'm creating ads for my own music, but I create ads just like a hobby.
That's amazing.
Just as a creative outlet.
I'm just so not technical at all. It took me nearly 30-something years to work out the way you turn your laptop off is not just draining the battery. I just really have not got that skill. How I'm doing this show is literally.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Well, it's going all right, but I had literally to set up templates so I know exactly what I'm doing and what I need to read. It's like I'm not technical. I'm artistic and creative. I can't draw.
You're autistic. I'm sorry.
But no, I am autistic as well. Actually, there's definitely on that spectrum.
I knew it.
Definitely. But no, I'm not very good with my father could pick up any instrument and learn to play it without any lessons. Like he just was a natural musician. He had a beautiful voice. He could build a house. He could renovate a car. He could, my dad was everything. I can just sing. I mean, and I enjoy it, but I'm not very good at anything else. So
my father was a professional circus clown.
Wow, how amazing.
And the only instrument he played was the musical saw.
Love it.
And
I can't even do that.
And he said, let's start a circus. Let's start a family circus. And he wanted me to be the band leader. And that's kind of where I got my music stuff.
Would have been cool, man. Yeah, I wasn't very good. I didn't even like singing in front of people when I first became a singer. I started off being
wow.
Yeah, I couldn't even get on a bus until I was 20 because I was too shy to walk on in front of people. God knows.
You got over it.
Huh?
You got past it.
Well, yeah, done over 5,000 shows, been seen by over 300 million people, and released.
That would do it.
So
right?
I've kind of worked my way through my little comfort zones, my little routines that can get me there. And once I'm there, I then think, oh fuck. But then I'm too shy to be embarrassed. I couldn't cry or run off. So I just have to go through. My friend was watching a video of me in a theatre in England, and it was a night of the musical. So there was the person that played the Phantom there who played, and me, for some reason, they invited me. My friend was like, oh my God, you're amazing. Like, you brought the house down. But were there people in the wings? She was interested if like the girl from Wicked was watching me or something like that. She goes, were there people in the wings watching you? I'm like, no. She went, oh, because you kept smiling and looking over in that direction. I said, yeah, it's just, I was looking for the quickest exit if I thought I was going to faint. And that was after like 20 years of singing still. Like, I was still like, if I need to get off, this is where I'm going now. I've got to walk over to that side now. There's no one I'm going to embarrass myself in front of. So, yeah.
Oh, man.
But I guess
I studied improv comedy for 2 years.
Wow.
And that helped my stage presence immensely.
Be on the ball and think,
because you're never without a lifeline, because from improv you just make something up and say it.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. I remember singing a song in Italian, and I sung this song for, oh my god, years.
What song?
It's called Un amore per sempre. Josh Groban sings it as well. And
Love Forever.
A Love Forever, yeah. But it wasn't. I've also sung it. I don't know if I should admit this on pre-recorded TV, but I sang so many weddings because I understood that bit. It was a love forever. And then a friend of mine was like, I love that song you sing. It's beautiful. Why don't we like do a video to it? I'm like, yeah. He goes, we'll get it translated and we'll do a video so we can make a storyboard. And when it was translated, it was like, this love is forever because when you ripped out and broke my heart, this pain won't leave me. And I was like, oh my God, if the divorce rate in Southwest England is
that sounds like something I would write.
Yeah, I've sung that at so many bloody weddings. But I'd sung this song for years, and it's really beautiful classical crossover track. And I don't know if my nerves got the better of me or because I sung it for so long, I just completely forgot. But I completely blanked on the second verse. I didn't remember. And there were like 900, 1,000 people in this theatre. And I'm just like, so literally I had to make up Italian sounding words for the whole Spaghettino Florelli, Pizzeria, Ravioli. And I made up this whole second verse of Italian sounding sounding words. Thank God no one spoke Italian in this particular place. And they went, oh, Jaden, that Italian number, oh, it moved me. I'm like, you've got no idea it moved me.
It gave me indigestion.
Yeah, more than that, nearly. And then you had to run off stage to the toilet. I was literally crapping myself. It was so bad. I'm thinking, Jaden, quick.
Yeah, right.
Ore was every third word or something. I can't remember. But
one of the bands I was in used to play Stairway to Heaven.
Okay.
I hate that song.
It's not one of my favorites.
I hate it. I liked it until the 357th time I had to sing it.
Yeah, it has been quite a popular track.
And the other thing about it was I sang that song, and I always forgot the words. So your story has brought that back for me. I would just make stuff up. If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, it was mortifying.
As long as you can carry on that story, right? People are like, oh my God, I never heard this version before. That's amazingly creative. Whereas mine, I was just singing about, I don't know, Renaults and pizza places and stuff. Anything that I could make a weird sounding word out of that they never knew. Needless to say, I've never done that song since. So you're all over social media. You're all over Bandcamp, SoundCloud. I mean, people can't.
Not Bandcamp.
You're not on SoundCloud.
SoundCloud I love.
Yeah. What are you not on?
Bandcamp.
Are you not?
Well, I am, but I don't keep it up. I made a note to myself, you gotta go onto Bandcamp and update it. And then Bandcamp got sold. And they're talking about paying worse than Spotify numbers to songwriters and artists.
Oh yeah.
And I just said, oh, screw Bandcamp. I don't need it.
So just continue. But Spotify,
someone SoundCloud, Spotify,
Apple, everything,
Apple Music, Amazon Prime Music, Deezer, Tidal, YouTube, you name
bloody
it.
Wonderful, bloody wonderful. Well, I'm so pleased you've got the time to speak to me today. So even though you've been up since crazy o'clock in the morning writing Christmas songs,
oh, it's not a Christmas song. The ad is Christmassy.
Just adapted it to suit the purpose of being dumped around Christmas. So
good. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It happens to a lot of them.
Where will you be at Christmas?
I will be here with all my animals. That's my plan. I'll be here. I might even be. I think I'm working Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, so I'm doing a little show, singing, karaoke, disco, a bit of everything, to keep all the expat community jumping up and down until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, when I should really be in bed watching Netflix with a cup of hot cocoa. But
Nice.
mate, I don't have the energy anymore, quite frankly. But and New Year's Eve as well. But 25th, I'll probably be on the phone to England, chatting to the fam. And then if I don't have time to make myself a little turkey dinner, then I might go into town and see where I can buy something to eat. That is the extent. I'm not even, for some reason, I'm not feeling Christmas this year. I'm not even putting decor. I've never had, I'm 50 years old. I've had 50 Christmas trees through my life, always decorated. I'm not feeling it this year. So there is no decorations in the Cornelius household this year, but maybe next year.
None for me this year so far, but I feel guilty because my Mexican housekeeper that comes every week, she's saying, "Where's your tree? ¿Dónde está tu árbol?
Yeah.
¿Dónde está tu árbol?
Tu árbol, tu árbol de Navidad, sí. Claro.
Árbol de Navidad. Navidad.
En un paquete, en un paquete. In la tienda, it's in the shop.
The dog ate it. The dog ate it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We might. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, yeah, I might. All of a sudden, I might just watch. I don't know, something that really gets me into the Christmassy mood the week before. I think, oh, sod it. I should put it up for a week. Go on, Jaden.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I love it. And every last night I have to watch White Christmas. I love White Christmas as well.
White Christmas? Wow. Last night, by accident, I just turned on the tube and they were having live from Rockefeller Center in New York, the Christmas tree lighting, and it was one star after another.
Really?
Wow. Kelly Clarkson, Sera, just a whole bunch of people, and from all sorts of genres. And that kind of put me in the Christmassy mood.
Okay,
that wasn't bad at all.
It's more difficult for me here because it's like 28, 29 degrees. I'm sweating.
Same here.
Yeah, I find it difficult, but I will probably do something. I've got to start singing in Christmas songs soon anyway, so that will probably get me, and that will probably kick my ass into the.
I think when someone throws some money into your hat, your tip hat, that'll bring you into the Christmas.
That will possibly put me.
It'll sound like little jingle bells.
Yes. I would rather it be notes and it sound like snowflakes, if I'm being completely honest. Dexoflex, thank you so much for being part of my show.
My pleasure, Jaden.
It's been wonderful. We are going to stay in touch. Absolutely. We got some plans. But people at home, you've met him. You've heard his music. You're going to hear a little bit more afterwards as well. But go and find him on all of his social media platforms. Go and listen and share and like and follow everything you possibly can. And you'll find him on all major streaming and download music platforms as well. So I suggest by the end of this show, you've already started to make your way over to Camp Dexoflex. And you'll be going to find out a lot more about this young man. Thank you so much, mate. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and come back as soon as you've got your licensing deal and we can do a Jaden show special and we can release the news. That would be wonderful.
I would love that.
You're a diamond. Great to meet you, my friend. You take care.
Thank you, Jaden.
See you later, mate. Bye-bye. Super cool. We'll see. And I have to be honest that I do feel that shade of lipstick should be a regular feature on my guests. I did quite like it. I'm feeling maybe I should try the same. Although I think I'm more of a kind of, I don't know, a less pink kind of boy, really. More kind of like a more, I don't know, cherry than pink. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. I have no idea, to be honest, yet. But anyway, Dex, thank you so much for joining me on my show. Please, kids at home, go and find him all over social media. You won't be disappointed. Go and show brother some love and some support on his various musical projects. While you're there, you can also check Jaden Cornelius out. That's moi on all my social media platforms as well. Come and say hi over there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me on another Jaden show on another Sunday. out of your life. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate you. And I do appreciate your comments, your likes, your subscriptions, and your shares. So please continue to do so. I thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go now and leave you with a song called Que Sera, My Love. However, I will see you next Sunday on the Jaden Show. We're going to have a spectacular guest. Looking forward to it. All bloody ready. Take care. Be good. Enjoy. And most importantly of all, stay beautiful. Ta-ra for now. Bye-bye.